All right, everybody. So this is going to be a long video, maybe not long, I have a lot of orders and I wanted to cover them. And due to my absence there for a bit, I wanted to kind of give you a little sample of my daily life here at the shop. So we're going to start with anything I could do on my Cameo, and then we'll run to the BM20, prepare everything, cut, pick, laminate, do all that fun stuff. I'll try to edit everything down so it's not so long. Just bear with me and let's have some fun. Alright, so starting with the Cameo stuff. I've already got these two, I just call them skull flags. Customer bought one 5x4 white, and I always cut two, just because that piece of vinyl is going to be 12 inches long, and in case something goes wrong while I'm weeding, then I got the extra one to use parts out of, or just to give away. Alright, so my next addition to this one, okay, so one thing I'm going to consider here is my Celtic stars are going to be silver. I just call them Celtic stars. I mean, you might call them something else, but these are my versions that I have where I put a clear transparent vinyl underneath, so it's a one piece. That's for the smaller ones, so I'm just going to get rid of that stuff. Okay, so we're going to do so you got a weed line there too behind it, so I'm just going to leave that. So we're going to make this 6 inches. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to paste over here. And there's that one. Now, since I'm going to have a piece of white here, and this is going to be silver. Or actually, we're going to do this one blue because I want one silver, one blue. Now, I'm probably going to cut this vinyl. Let's go up just a bit. You know what I'm going to do here? Hang on. Let's go ahead and rotate that. Now that keeps me at the 5-inch mark. So I can drop this one up to the 6-inch mark. So basically there's going to be a gap between the vinyl right here. Oops. Okay, so that one's blue. Now they want another one that's silver. So we're going to drop this down to the 13. Let me see something here. 6. Okay. So I'm going to cut a piece 6 to 12, so exactly 6 inches. So those are done. Now, since this guy is going to be silver, let me look at my list here. I actually have a list in front of me. Now I have a We the People, I call it We the People Gothic script. Let me see if I have that. Yep, I do right here. Now they want this in 10-inch silver. So I'm going to put that here. That's 10 inches. I'm going to go ahead and put my weed box around it. So right here I'm going to have a piece of silver that's going to be, see how it says 9.7, so I'll just cut it about maybe 10.5 tall, and we could probably go, I mean naturally the vinyl is 12 inches, so it's going to be 12, but if you wanted, down here it says 10, you could cut it at 11. Okay, so there's that. So I'm going to write that down on my list. Okay, so I wrote that down. I am pausing the video when I write it down, so you guys don't have to sit there and listen to me try to think about everything. Okay, now that piece, or that cutting mat's done, or that one's ready. So let's go to the next one. Oh, I need a black pen. I guess I don't have one. So I'm using a red pen. All right. So next thing I want to do, I'm just looking at my list here. got that one. Okay, so the next one I have will be We the People Punisher Chrome, which will be right here. Now this one, if you can see it in the video, I actually took the time, put in all these weed lines. Really helps out, but sometimes your machine is a little funky. A lot of detail here, so I mean, if it cuts even 1/8 of an inch off, even a 1/16 of an inch off, it's going to cut that filigree. So just be careful when you make those. This one though, this one I'm gonna need. Oh, actually, sorry, I pulled up the wrong one. This customer wants this solid one here. Almost did the wrong one, and they want that in 10 inches, which it already is, in chrome, and they want 2 of them. Okay, so there's my chrome, and this is a custom order. I've actually been removing my chrome from my listings. I can't stand it. I mean, I like it. I like how it looks, but as a product to sell, it always just comes back with complaints and all that fun stuff. But all right. So next thing we got on the list is a We the People skull flag, which is, where's it at? Where's it at? This one I instead of we, I just put WTP. Now this one they want in 15-inch silver. So let's go ahead and put that at 15. Now here's something we could do. Okay, so since that's going to be silver, so I already know I need a 15-inch piece of silver. Okay, let's get rid of that guy. Don't need that guy. I don't like when I build up all these tabs. Okay, so this right here is silver, remember? So let's copy this. See if that'll fit there. Perfect. Look at that. See? And then we can rotate that one. Oops. Object, rotate 90 degrees clockwise. Okay, so now instead of that 10 by 12 silver, now I just have to do a 17. Well, yeah, I'll do 17 by 12. 17 by 12 silver. We can come back over here and just get rid of those. Okay. And so now what I have to make is a 17 by 12 silver. This one's blue, so that's 7-inch blue. But now these are white, even though they don't look white. I know they're white, so I'm not going to bother. And I have all them weed lines, those compound paths. So I do need a Raider script white. So let's go to my Raider stuff. Now this one I need to make 12 inches. And we're going to just drop that here. Now, if I go 12 inches, because this weed box, if I go 12 inches, it's going to short it a little bit. So I'm just ungroup that, get rid of that weed box. We'll put that at 12. Just hit my alignment tools, get it right on the edge. Now see, that's still going to overhang. So I'm going to go ahead and just drop it down just a bit. Boom, there you go. So now I need an 11 by 12 white. Okay. So there's that one. And we still got this. Now see how as I'm going, you know, a few minutes ago I said this cutting mat was done, but as I'm looking at my list, working down it, things are changing. Very dynamic. All right. What else we got here? We got that guy. That's it. That's it for my die cut stuff. So I'm gonna jump on the BN20. Well, the BN20 artboard, and we'll get that set up. But for now, I used to save these in my my working folder for my orders, but I don't really bother anymore. If something happens, computer crashes, whatever, it's easy enough just to put these back together. Alright, so there's the die cut stuff. Okay, so now we're setting up the BN20. Now this right here is a previous job. I still have to cut it out of the BN20 and laminate it. This Eagle AR-15 Liberty or Death, I do have another version of this where it says American Badass. I think making decals is kind of like fishing. You know, you make one, you throw it out there, see if it gets any bites. That particular one I haven't sold a lot of, so I'm going to change the wording. And I do have this file set up where I could type in whatever I want. But I'm going to go, the Liberty or Death is really popular right now. and anytime I do a new listing, I always do at least one run. So this one's going to be there. One thing I do want to do, see how I got this cut contour in here? I do want to add something in here because it's just kind of a white spot in between everything. But enough of that one, I guess. So I will laminate this and cut it on the video. But for now, let's start down my list with the BN20 stuff. So I always start with the biggest. Okay, so I do have my skull flag. It's funny because I'm already on this this file. I call it skull flag, blood camo. It's an outlaw. Now see how it looks kind of funny. So you see my bleed in there. That's my bleed. All that extra black. So I'm going to turn off the bleed and show you what it'll look like. Where's it at? Where's it at? Oh, it's right here. Boom. Okay, so when it's cut out, this is what they'll get right here. And I try to do my mock-ups on dark and light surfaces because sometimes they look really nice with white behind them, but on a black tinted window, this might not pop as much. I kind of thought about doing maybe a white bleed or something, but yeah, haven't really done much with this one yet. I also have it set up where I can add any pattern into the just the text only. So if I were to, it's a clipping mask. So if I was to drop another picture in here, let's see if I have another clip mask somewhere. No, I don't. But I could show you real quick. And I've done this in my other videos. So if you're watching this, you see my other videos. I guess this is for anybody that hasn't. Let's do a brick wall just as an example. I guess it don't matter. I'll just take that first one. All right, so we're placing that. And we're going to take that over my layers panel. We're going to drop it in that clip group. God, my computer is running so bad lately. So if it starts slowing down, whatever, sorry. But, okay, so see how that went into that, into that text only? Pretty cool, huh? So I can do that with anything. There's my bleed. But I can do that with any pattern. I can drop any pattern into that. I used to build these one like individually and do them that way, but when I learned how to do clipping masks, that was nice. Oh, let's I wanted to show you also. I'm gonna go ahead and make a copy of that, and we'll drop that copy into the skull. Now see how that's only in that skull? So if I wanted to, I could make that whole design just a brick wall. It's not very nice looking though, but the way I did the flag and the camo, I just added 2 separate images in there. So if I get rid of just the flag, see, or just the camo, if you just want black, I could do that. But alright, this video is going to be a little long, so I don't want to waste your time explaining stuff that I've already... I hope somebody's finding it useful. So this one they want it 22 inches by 18. Excuse me. So I'm going to highlight everything, go up to my height, change it to 22. Now I'm going to change my artboard. Now my material size is 20 inch, but you got to minus off that 1.5 inches for the crop marks. So 18.5. I always do 28 on my height just because that's the size of laminate that I have. So if I can fit it in there, great. If not, I'll just reduce it a bit. Alright, we're going to pull that. Actually, I want this down at the bottom. Lately, I've been... So when I run a job and I put the bigger stuff on top, smaller stuff down here, when it's cutting, some of the stuff down here actually comes out a little crooked. So I've been putting the small stuff up here. But alright, there's the outlaw. So let's look at what's next on the list. Now I have these... they're called MAGA for life. Oh, where's it at? Right here. Being 20, cut ready, American Patriot. Let's go to my Trump folder, MAGA for life, digital files, and I want to grab my EPS. Holy cow, I don't have an EPS version. Wow, that's crazy. When I built this file, I save every version from Adobe, SVG to JPEG, PDF, and I cannot believe I didn't add an EPS on here. That's the main one that I need. But I always save an Adobe Illustrator master file, so that's what I call it, the master file. Because if sometimes my EPSs get corrupted and I can't use them, so that's what that's for a backup. But okay, one thing I did do on my that I haven't corrected on this one, see how that line right there, it's just going to cut twice basically. So I'm going to go ahead and fix that. Okay, so right there I paused the video for a sec just to try to reduce time on it. But what I did was I just took that corner from the L, the cut contour version, and then I just pushed it over just a bit. So now I'm going to highlight the entire cut contour compound path, go to my pathfinder and just hit unite and see how that connected all that. So now when it cuts, it's going to cut here just straight across, and so that L and that I will be connected, but I think it's fine because over here I got the M and the A, the G and the A. I also took out the little triangle in here in the A. I don't think it's really necessary. But this one, same thing I did over here as I did on the Outlaw. I created a clip mask. So see how that's the clipping mask of the 4. If I go just to the text, I got my clipping mask, so I can drop any image into it. I can make it plain, you know. And I added that nice white stroke around it to separate it from that background. Now this one also has a bleed. There's the bleed out. Okay, enough of that though. This is next on the list. You do not want to highlight everything with your direct selection tool. Okay, so I just copied everything. Now we're going to paste this into this one. Now they wanted it 6 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and make my width 6 inches. Now I've got room down here in these areas, so I'm going to go ahead and put this guy probably right here. Same thing with my other stuff. Well, hang on, let me organize my there we go. Okay, I like to put my contour cuts in its own layer, so once I copy something into here, I'll do all that before I make any copies. So we're going to take this one, drag it. I guess we could put it over here. Highlight them both if you want, align them, boom. So they only bought one, but I'm gonna make two. Okay, so that one's scratched off the list. Okay, now I got these Biden, kind of a jokingly, I don't know if you watch politics, but the Biden, where they ask him how he would respond to other world leaders trying to get in on some of the fighting, and his one word is don't. Okay. Well, I thought that was funny, you know, not very intimidating, but I'm trying to keep that type of stuff out of my videos, so we'll just move on, other than the content that I'm cutting. But where's it at? All right, let's go to political humor. Political humor right here. Biden don't. See how this one's got the EPS? That just reminded me. Dang it, man! I really got to save that EPS version of that other one. But yeah, so basically him saying, "Don't vote Democrat." I kind of feel like it might read as like, "Don't screw up. Make sure you vote Democrat." That's just me. So I'm probably going to change that one, but somebody did buy some before I did anything with it. Alright, so we're going to copy this. Put this over here. Now they want 3 inches. So I have it 3 pieces, 3 inches big. So before I do anything else, I'm going to come over here into my layers, drop the imagery down into my imagery folder. Okay, excuse me. God, I keep clearing my throat. I always have to do that. I don't know why. All right, so there's 1, 2. Highlight, align. There's 1, 2. I'm always looking at how to save space here. If I was to put one maybe here, let's try something. Maybe one here. Yeah, perfect. See, so now I don't have to bring one over here. So I usually just pick these up off the backing paper, stick them on their own. That way I can just smash jobs all together like that. But there's that one. Okay. Next on the list is these warning stickers that I make. But we're gonna 816. We're gonna do. I have this other one. It's a Raiders. I call it Raiders hat, but it's a Raiders bandana, skull head. I couldn't really think of a set name for it, so I just call it Raider hat. We're gonna go over here, Raider design. There's see Raider hat bandana. Boom, there it is. So let's pull this guy up. So this one, I had a customer buy 2 of these at 8 inches tall. See how my layer panel, how everything's all. So if you copy it like that, it's gonna paste in like that. So I always check that first, and I normally don't just leave them that way, but sometimes I do this at night. I actually fell asleep with my face on my keyboard the other night. Had the indents of the keys in my forehead. It's pretty funny. Alright, so they want 2 of these at 8 inches. The width of my material is 18.5, so I should be able to get 2 of these. Now see how that W and that Raider kind of want to clash, so it's okay to flip things around. See, I just gave myself that little amount of space there. Alright, those guys are done. So that's an 18.5 by 28 sheet. Now the laminate that I bought is a 30-inch roll, so that's why I go to 28. I guess I could make it 29, but just to be safe, I give myself a little bit of slack. And normally I'll come over here and throw something in there so I'm not wasting any space, but yeah, I'm trying to keep my orders off the video because I had a customer mention to me that other people might not like their addresses and whatnot being posted, so that's the reason for that. But okay, so we're good to go here. Go ahead and save this one and see how this. Oh man, something I forgot. Remember how I mentioned how if you copy, yeah, so we're gonna now see how I got my two Raider designs in my cut contour folder. So I should have did this with just one before I did anything. So I'm just gonna pull those down. Now all my cut contours are in that one layer. I know I called it a folder a second ago, but that's what I mean. I'm gonna save this as an EPS into my orders folder. It's funny because I save them by the month, and then I'll click in the month, like June 2nd, so that's where it goes. I actually looped around and I had June 23 and June 24. It's like, wow, I need to start deleting stuff. Okay, so on the file, I'm just going to name it June 2 24. Now my material, I'm just going to put 203 standard 18-inch. Because that's what I got, is Prism Jet 203. It's what I print on. It's standard because I have a high-tack version, 18-inch. So that's the reason for that file name. Save that. Now, while that's saving, sometimes these take a good few minutes to sit. Well, not few minutes. I mean, even 20 seconds could feel like a long time. See how this is kind of, and if you got a lot of stuff going on in your files, that is going to take long. So I'm going to go into my VersaWorks. Now this is that one that I just told you I'm working on. So I'm going to go ahead and load my material. Well, no. I'm going to cut that. Sorry, I'm going to laminate this one and then cut it. Then we'll start that other one, and then we'll get all that other stuff going on. But just looking over my list, making sure I got everything. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next phase. Okay, so even with all that prep work on my Cameo, I need to cut another 12-inch piece of black. This is my We the People with the, I don't know if you can see it, it's got the Punisher skull in it. Well, my machine pulled up the W. Actually, you know what, I can just use this one. Yeah, I can actually. Let's see. Oh man, I cut a piece off over here, barely made it. So I'm gonna weed this. This is, so I didn't realize I had two of these sold. This is the other black one all packed up. And since I'm not ready to print ship labels yet, I just call that design Tyranny. I know what it is. I used to call it Tyranny Pun for punish, you know, but so right here on the package, I'll write Tyranny B for black, 12-inch, and then I'll put 8 ounce, 12 by 12, 8 ounce being the weight, in case I forget, but I've done so many of these, I probably didn't have to put that. Okay, so this is the 45-2 that I have to laminate. I mean, so they bought this, the 18-inch version, and then they decided they wanted a 10-inch. Now, I already made this. Same thing happened with this Raiderette. She bought a 18-inch, but she wanted a 10-inch. I don't know what it is, about 10-inch. But so I got this 18-inch sitting here, and I got this 18-inch sitting here. From now on, I'm probably just going to say no if I already print it. But you want happy customers, so I'm sure those will sell anyway. So before I laminate that other one, or even weed this one, I'm going to go ahead and get something cutting. Now, on my list here, I need a 17-inch piece of silver. So I'm going to get that. And I'm getting really low on my silver, but I have a 24-inch roll I could cut down from. Man, I got a really big red one too. Red sail. You know, now that I think about it, I don't even remember seeing that on the. I can't think of multitask. I don't remember seeing it on the. I'll see that. So this has a cut in it right here. When I was making my list of material I need to put together, I didn't see that red one. So now I'm wondering where the hell I'm getting red from. I know there's one there, but I might have skipped that one because I have to do something a little tricky with it. Okay, now remember how I spent all that time setting up these cutting mats in the Cameo? So this is just a 24-inch piece of silver. So I'm just going to put this in there and cut whatever I have on there. It's silver. I believe it was about 17 inches. So we're going to go ahead and cut this bad boy. My freaking my GoPro tends to overheat. Now this is where I'll skip the screen record. I just kind of do it on a computer. So we'll go in here. I can't remember which one is right here. This is my silver. So that's already one cutting mat. So we're gonna, let's see, we got everything on my settings. Man, that is heavy. I'm actually, you know, since I changed my blade, my settings are a little heavy. So let's do vinyl glossy. Let's see what that gives us. See how this is the dial's at a 1, the force is at 10. So on my custom settings, I got the dial at a 3 and the force at 16. So we're gonna go 2 and 12. Okay. So we're gonna let that run, and in the meantime, I'm gonna pull this out and laminate it. And I have this piece of scrap laminate that is actually perfect in size. Okay. So we're gonna lay this down. I used to, in my other videos, my older ones, I would peel back the laminate and then I would cut the paper right here. I haven't really been doing that as much. In fact, I don't think I've done it since I moved into this new shop. But okay, so I'm gonna need that about right there on the edge. And this piece of laminate fits perfectly in between my crop marks. I don't want it to I don't want it to overlap any of my crop marks. So I'm trying to line this up so it doesn't do that. But I don't think it's gonna be possible. So next best scenario, just make sure at least 2 of your crop marks are good. So I'm gonna put that down. Get my roller. I do the roller just to kind of pinch that paper a little bit better. There's my list. When you have a list of stuff to cut, that's a good thing because that means you got orders. Okay. I'm gonna throw this bad boy in here. Just bump it up, you know, nice and flush. I always blow it off the air duster. I'm gonna grab that paper. Okay, so we're just gonna pull this out. There we go. Now the reason it got stuck is I didn't cut off the excess laminate. I used to sit there and cut it, make it all perfect, and Now, I mean, I'll bump up the knife against the job, bump the ruler against the knife, and then just line it up down here at the bottom, and boom, there you go. Okay, so I'm gonna go load this in the BN20. Now, it's kind of hard to do with the camera. So what I do is, say you got your cutting strip in the BN20. What I do is I put my fingers on the crop marks. I'll just kind of work them into that cutting strip, that little indent, and you'll feel it. And then I'll kind of bump it against the right edge. You know, just kind of tap it in there, and then I just barely pull it back just a tiny bit. And then I'll push my pinch roller over, load it up, hit send, and go. Boom, there you go. All right, so there's that one, and then we'll get on with the other stuff. All right, so that BN20 job's ready. So bring this out. Okay. Now remember I said I had high-tack vinyl. Well, that's what I made this on, because that's the only one I have in a 12-inch size piece, and I didn't need a full 18-inch piece. The only problem with high-tack is it's really hard to get off the backing paper. I wouldn't dare send a customer a sticker on this unless I act like this one here. I'm gonna actually pick it up off of that backing and put it on. This is a scrap piece of backing paper from a different job. I'm gonna stick it down on that, so that way they don't have to sit there and fight with it to get it off. But yeah, it looks like the cut came out good. I'm not gonna sit here and weed this whole thing. I just wanted to check it, make sure the job cut okay. Let's see, looks great. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, so we'll leave this alone for now. Go ahead and put this away. Okay, so remember on that other cameo job, I had a this is for that blue star. This is actually a scrap piece of white I had for that skull flag. So instead of cutting a 17-inch, or sorry, 11 by 12 white, this will be the skull flag. So now I just got to find a 12-inch, I think 12 by 6 piece for the Raider tattoo script version. But also, what you didn't see on there was this chrome. Well, I don't know if I did talk about the chrome. Sorry, I don't think I wrote down the measurement though. Now, I've mentioned before in the video that I think this chrome is just meant to complement another color. But I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing. I'm gonna do the same thing with this that I'm gonna do on that high tack. I'll pick everything, drop the transfer tape down, pick it up off of that backing paper, drop it back down on a new piece, and they should be able to get it better. Like I said, I hate chrome. This is a whole roll of chrome that I got, so I'll find a use for it. And I'm a moron, okay? See this cabinet here with all my extra rolls, and now I did mention how I'm running out of silver. Well, while I was looking for that chrome, I found a brand new roll of silver. So maybe if I'd look in the dang thing once in a while, I'd see it, right? Okay, let's go get that. Sounds like this sucker's done. Looks like everything cut okay. Remember how see that? Remember how I said I was gonna mess around those settings? Man, I sure wish I could listen to music on when I make these videos, because I love jamming out with some freaking death metal. Okay. Alright, so there's that one. So that one's ready to weed. And we'll leave that alone for a minute. I guess we can go ahead and load up this chrome. Now, every time I do the chrome, man, I put that new blade in the Cameo and it's just a pain in my butt. So remember I set up all them jobs on that cutting mat on the Cameo? So now I got to rearrange everything. So I got chrome, white, blue, Celtic Star, skull flags, We the People Punisher chrome 10-inch, and they want 2 of them. So we're going to load that up. I'm going to cut it and then we'll look at it from there. Okay, so now we're working on the infamous chrome. Now, like I said before in the past, I'd rather cut out a clear backing, put this on that, make that a one-piece sticker. But I'm not going to do that because, for one, I don't have the transparent Oracle vinyl, which I probably could just use some regular laminate. I actually want to test that, see how that turns out. But so I've mentioned quite a bit that I hate chrome, hate it, hate working with it. I love how it looks, but I have no interest in selling it anymore. I do have a lot of listings that I still have it available because I just haven't. I kind of have to wait till somebody buys it to be aware, because I mean I got over 400 listings. I'm not going to go through each one and look for chrome just to take it out. But there was one decal, I think it was a 24-inch skull. Guy chose chrome, and God, I didn't even know I had that option. Even when I did do chrome, I didn't do that size, so it was just a mistake on my part. But I let him know, told him the silver is really nice, he was cool. So I just sent him a couple I sent him the one he wanted in silver, and then threw in a couple of free ones, little small ones. But yeah, see, and so those settings that I got it on, it barely cut. I'm almost having to tear it as I go. It's already pissing me off. So I'm gonna maybe, I don't know, it's okay. It's not. I just gotta be a little more careful. But I get kind of impatient, you know. I just want to get done. It's late. I'm tired. I need my rest. But I'm probably gonna finish this one off camera. If anybody wants to, I'll video the taping phase, I guess. But as far as weeding all this crap, I don't want to waste video time doing all this. So yeah, I'm gonna finish this piece I'm on here, and then we'll cut down. I mean, as much as coming off, might as well finish it. But yeah, see all them little custom weed lines I got. Man, that E down here is really thin. This is, I guarantee when the guy gets this one, he's gonna go ahead and write to me and tell me something's wrong with it or whatever. But I already let him know chrome's a pain in the ass, and I have a installation video here on YouTube. So I'm going to send him that link, and he insisted on it, so there you go, buddy. This is that blue Celtic cross, and then this is the skull flags. There's 2 of them, so I'm going to weed those also. I'll do it off camera. Alright, so now we're going to load that BN20, and I'm really sorry if it's loud in here. I got my Cameo right next to me just drilling away. Alright, so we're going to go to my QAC. That's where I have my sticker set up. Go into my June 2nd folder, grab that job that we saved earlier. Wait for it to load. Man, I'm almost done. I think this job's gonna run the rest of my black. I am running through yellow like no other either. In fact, I feel like I'm running through it more than I did when I was doing all them don't tread on me's there for a while. Okay, so this is gonna load up your job settings panel. Now the first thing I do, get media width. You see all the jobs I put on there. That's all I really need to do on this tab. So then I go to quality. Now I want these colors to be nice and vibrant. So I'm going to go down here and change my color setting, the preset to true rich color, and that does make a difference. I have a red camouflage skull that I do, and I tried it with both settings, and it is a lot more dull without, but it does burn through your ink more. So keep that in mind. Okay, so that's all I got to do here. I keep my halftone at dither. Yeah, that's it. I mean, you could play around with your settings over here. I honestly don't know what the hell I'm doing in there, but I digress. Fancy, huh? Fancy words. Okay, so then I make sure my crop marks are there, which I know they're there because of the preset on my QA. Now I go to cut controls, go to cut only, return to origin after cut, and then I go to my cut settings. I changed this to 70, that's where my blade's set. Before I changed my blade, it was like 55. I put the same blade in it, didn't adjust anything, and then I ended up there. So go figure, I guess. But when I go to cut only, I look over here and I just make sure that all the dancing ants are in the right places, ain't none missing, ain't any where there's not supposed to be. This job actually looks like it's overlapping, but it's not. They're right next to each other. When I first glanced at that, I was like, oh crap. Okay, now I go back to print only. Everything looks good. Hit OK. Hit print. We are off. Okay, so that's the job start for the BN20. This guy's ready, so we're gonna go ahead and pull this down. I always kind of eyeball the crop mark to the edge of the BN20 there. You need at least 2.5 inches. I used to measure it to get exactly 2.5, but now I just kind of eyeball it. I've been trying to work on a way to get a perfect accurate measurement for that, but not that important, I guess. Okay, so this is my laminate roll here that I got. Like I said, it's 30 inches. And so I do 28 on my artboard for my BN20 jobs. And I don't really need to have the job laying down. I'll show you why. Okay, so I just line up my my edge of my job on the edge of this grid here. Okay. Get that lined up and then just unroll it. Okay. Now I have markers on my table here. Now I need at least 19 inches. So I have this little X here on this side, one on this side. So that's what I go off of. Sorry, I'm trying to handle this camera at the same time I'm doing all this, so. Okay, so that looks okay. Alright, now with it lined up down here at the bottom, then I just go up here on the X's. Now, I cut one yesterday, I think, and it was a little big. I can't remember if my measurements are off. Be careful not to cut your finger. I used to be really good at that, but I have since decided to not try to go a million miles an hour, so ever since then I'm not cutting my fingers. Okay, flip your laminate over. And I know I've demonstrated this a million times in my other videos, but I'm going to show you this one. Now see, this piece is, you know, I got about maybe a 1/2 inch on this side, 1/2 inch on that side. Barely covers my crop mark, so perfect. So I've got that down where everything is already kind of pre-made. Now remember how I would say I would fold the laminate and then cut the paper off. So I fold the paper underneath and then I carefully lay it down where I need it. You know, I'll just kind of look. I'll pull it just past the crop mark on the side that I'm going to stick down, because I still have on this other end probably, I mean, I could pull that where the crop marks aren't even covered and I'd be okay. In fact, let's do it that way just so I can show you. Okay, so I gently press, then I just roll it, crease the paper a little bit. And my GoPro keeps shutting itself off. When I get a different camera eventually for doing this, I'm gonna honestly say I'm not gonna get GoPro again. I have 2 GoPro. Okay, so this one is cut, ready to be weeded. Now my cameras keep shutting off. I don't know why. My hard drives or my little drives that I put in them, I can't remember what they're called. They were emptied when I put them in. Batteries are charged, so God love GoPro. But I'm gonna do what I can here and show you. Now remember I had that bleed on this design, so I just want to show you real quick before the camera dies. Like this A right here. Now watch when I take this piece out, how much of that black comes with the see that big black outline around that? It's got a nice cut around it, so there's no white from the material that's going to be showing through. Okay, so I'm going to just do a little bit. I won't bore you with the whole thing. Now, if you're watching this and you would have liked to have seen me do the whole thing, let me know in a comment. I'm not like the best YouTube guy, I guess. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, but I never really made my own until I started doing this. So I know when I watch videos, I can get bored real easy and skip to the next one, or take what I need to learn and move on. So if there's something more I can do, just let me know. I haven't really been too active on my channel these last couple months, but got a personal reason, but I don't want to broadcast my personal business like that online. It's but I'm here. That's what's important. Yeah, see. So I kind of cut as I go. Now right here I got this piece inside the skull's jaw. I always pick that instead of try to just pull it through. Now when you start getting a big piece of excess, it's probably a good idea to cut it off and start a new one. I mean, you can keep going, and I do quite a bit, but when I'm doing a die cut, versus a printed decal. The die cuts I'm a little more careful with because the material's a lot thinner. See how I'm just kind of hopping that along. Now over here on this lettering, got a lot going on there. So I might just take my scissors, get rid of some of that. I really like these bigger decals, but I've really been letting people know when they buy them to please, and I added this in my description, is please make sure and have a professional or an experienced installer put them on, because you'll get people that buy these, have never done it before, they don't know all the little tricks, and they end up messing up a part of it. I actually had a customer that was honest about it, said, hey, I messed this up, can I order another one? And just from them being honest with me like that, you know, I gave them a really good discount on the next piece. But for the most part, you'll get people that claim there's something wrong with your decal rather than admit they put it on wrong. So I always ask for a picture too. I had one guy try to put this big Raider decal on his hood of his car, and his hood had one of those centerpieces that kind of is raised, and he tried to, you could see where he tried to put it on, but that type of decal is not going to go on a hood like that and cooperate very good. So he messed that up, but he said there was something wrong with my decal, and I could see where he got it on there. But yeah, it has to be a smooth, clean surface, you know. Another aspect could be the temperature, whether you're doing it outside and it's really hot, or inside, or when it's cold too. So that's another thing you got to consider. But I didn't really have a lot of those details in my descriptions, but I have since, so all that's in there now. Okay. All right, we just got the teeth here. I shipped one of these before. It was a different skull, but I forgot to weed out the teeth, and the guy was pretty mad. But hey, man, you know, you're human. Things happen, but you when you're selling to people, you don't want things to happen. So. Alright, I'm glad my camera didn't die before this got done, but I wanted to show you. So you can see that bleed. There's a little black outline around each one of these stars. Now one thing, you can't see any black here, but you can see it here. So my cut was off a little bit, but I make that bleed big enough where it's not going to really affect the design all that much. Everything looks good. Like even this has a bleed on it. This one, the bleed's actually white, so that's not going to matter as much. Same with this one. But this job, I'll peel off these bite-ends and I'll cut these two off, and then I'll tape this whole thing with this one, because this is going to need tape because it's separate pieces. And I'll tape that up, and then pack it up and ship it away. So that's that sheet there. So I have to run another BN20 job, so we'll go get on the computer and get that one ready. Okay, I wanted to show you real quick. So this one's all taped up, ready to go. Just need to pack it up. One thing I do with my laminate roller, I'll stick it in here and I'll just kind of run it through a little tight. Make sure it's not tight enough where it's going to put crinkles in it. that just gives it a nice smooth pass of pressure for your transfer tape. And then if you really wanted to get really technical, I mean, I always kind of pull it, make sure it's coming up good just on the corner. You don't have to do that if you're confident with your materials, but now these, I try not to roll them up too. I used to put these in a 2-inch tube, but a lot of customers were telling me when they unroll it that transfer tape's just really bunched up really bad. So I've been doing these 3-inch tubes. Now I get these locally and they're about 24 inches long. I just cut it. Just take my little hacksaw here, I cut it down to what I need. So anything over 22 inches, you're paying $5 more in shipping. So you don't want to add that cost for no reason. And then I end up with a lot of these small pieces. These work really good. Sometimes I'll put them together to make a longer piece. Yeah, and then you pop that on. That's good to go. Now, if you're shipping with these tubes, I strongly advise you get some Scotch tape or any tape and just throw a couple pieces on these end caps. I did have a postal worker tell me that these pop off quite a bit during transit, so I usually take a piece off of one of these and then I'll just tear it into about 3 or 4 pieces. Probably only need a couple of them, but better to have more than less, right? And then next thing I do, come over here to my scale. Set that bad boy on there. So I got 7.7, so I'll print my label at 8 ounces. And then I come over here to my grid and I just see how long it is. Right here I got, if it's over, see, it's 18 point something, I guess, but I'll just put 19. So 19 inches, 3 inch, so 19, 3 by 3. 8 ounces. That's my label, and that's going to cost me about maybe $5. And the decal itself, I believe I sold for about, what is it, 22 inch, so it's about 30 bucks. So you make about 20 bucks off a sale like that. Not bad. Okay, I just wanted to share how I pack up some of these. Everything else I've got over here. Whoops. I always write down what it is if I don't make the label yet. And I have done it before where I didn't write it down and I thought, yeah, I'll remember. And not good, because I end up tearing them apart and having to repack them because I forget. So I'll do all the labels. What I do is I put an 8x10 sheet of sticky paper. It holds 3 labels. So I'll put 3 labels on it, cut them out, stick them on there. I used to just print them and then tape them on, but I don't like that, especially with the right here, the stamped ones. I don't like to run a bunch of tape on these because that little square that the post office uses, sometimes I won't read it with the tape over it. Okay, so there's my little demo on shipping, I guess. If you have any questions about that, let me know. Alright, my friends, so I've actually been making this video throughout the day and I've been working on it from last night till today and still haven't got my orders done. This was that other sheet of these warning stickers that I had to make that I showed you. Now, rather than using an entire piece of brand new laminate, I'm going to go ahead and just use some scrap pieces that I got here. So this one would be perfect for right here. And these little tiny ones, I just threw them in extra, so I don't necessarily even need to laminate those. So we're going to go ahead and do these ones first. So let's get this up. Okay. Okay, and they do have a border, so I gotta go just past the mark there on where it's at. And we'll go about right there. Okay. Boom. Okay. So I'll run this one first. And everything's kind of crooked. If I put in my vinyl, it's going in a little bit sideways. So I'm going to try to just eyeball it straight and then just go ahead and do that right there. Okay. We'll peel back our paper. Grab the material. Boom. There's the first set. I did this the other day with some cowboy stars, and I accidentally laminated one set twice and forgot to laminate another set. So I had one row that was done twice, the other row that was done that wasn't done at all. So this scrap piece I got here is not quite big enough for those. So I'm gonna dig in my box here. All right. Yeah, see that piece right there? Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Okay. So let's yeah, I mean that's actually exactly what I need. Probably could trim about a ½ an inch off of this. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and peel back. Fold the paper. And I'm gonna just nudge it up to that other laminate. Drop it down. Okay, now this side's ready. All right, I do want to add a little more pressure to the entire thing. I can see in some spots it didn't really, well, it's not bubbly, but it's just light. Okay, and there's a perfect seam here between these for the laminate. Let's go ahead and load this guy. Same as before, I'll put my fingers on the dots, wiggle them around into the cutting strip, nudge it over, and then just barely pull it over just a tiny bit. Okay, I've got my fingers on the dots. Okay, that's all loaded up. So I'm gonna come over here, open up my VersaWorks, go to cut only. I've already got my settings. All it is 9 squares. Now where I didn't laminate the smaller ones, it might actually cut through the paper to make like an actual cutout sticker. Haven't quite mastered that yet, but I know with some stickers you buy, they will be cut out like that. I actually want to find out which material is used for that, because I actually like that. So we got our third crop mark. Get my hand ready, just so it goes over that. Boom. This one's gonna go real fast. It's those little 8 squares. And this one, the customer's getting the 2 big ones and 2 of the smaller ones. And, well, the 5" by 2 or 3. Then I'll give them maybe a couple of these little tiny ones. Yeah, there's that. So I think we've went over these as much as we need to, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump to the next item. Okay, so these, as I said before, I did use that high-tack vinyl. I know my battery's getting a little low on this one, so might be a little bit of in-betweens. All right, come on. The reason I even have this high-tack vinyl, I've said it before, but the vendor sent me the wrong vinyl, and they wouldn't take it back since they said they had to custom cut it for me. But it was their mistake, which kind of pissed me off. But yeah, see how easy that came up? Now what I have to do, I won't send this to the customer like that. So what I would normally do is peel it up, and then I'll drop it back down on a different backing paper from another job. So that way when the customer gets it, it's just an easy peel. So I'll do that with the rest of these, pack them up and ship them out. Now, before I cut this part of the video, I want to point out, since I didn't laminate these small ones, it did almost cut through that paper. See, actually it did right there. Look at that. So you could send that like a normal sticker where they have to peel it back, but since this is the high tack, that's going to be really hard to get off. So I'll do the same thing. I'll peel this off, stick it down on a different piece of paper. It'll be good to go. Okay. Okay, so in this part of the video, this is that 35" red that I mentioned earlier that I couldn't remember which one was red. So what I had to do, I ran out of my 24" vinyl. So I had to use my 12" vinyl, but I had to cut it in 2 different pieces. And what I do with this, in fact, I changed my listing description just so customers know. And I think it's actually probably easier to put this on in 2 pieces. Maybe not as hard, but all right. Just checking to make sure I got everything weeded. Okay, so what I do is we will transfer tape one part of it. Okay, so there's that one. And then there is this one. Okay. This one's got this excess transfer tape on it, so I'm just going to cut that off. So that's a good piece there for another job. I actually got a whole pile of those spare pieces. So we'll cut a little bit off here. That's about all I have to cut off of this. Now, if somebody sent me this decal just like this, I would be able to figure it out. you know, it's just kind of common sense, I guess. But I do realize there's people that buy these that may have not ever put one on before. So got all this. Well, I melt my packaging in a little plastic. It's like getting little hairs all over you. I feel like I got them everywhere. So what I do is I'm going to line up the bottom of the paper on the grid. Same thing over here. We'll put that about, let's say about maybe there. Okay. Okay. So this bottom goes with that part of the grid. This one goes an inch up. I think that's okay. I mean, if the customer wanted to, they could probably go. Actually, let's go 2 inches higher now. The more I'm looking at it, the more I like 2 inches over the 1. What do you guys think? Does that look okay? Okay. Now, oh, I need my big ruler. Now, normally I would just tape these down. I'm not gonna do that though. So we're gonna put the ruler down, okay? And this is where I need my Sharpie, and I freaking took my Sharpie to work. Dang it. So instead of, so I'm gonna just draw a line across both pieces. Okay. So now when they, you know, put this piece on, boom, drop it down, then they know exactly where to put this one. Now, they might not know where to put it this way, okay? So I'm gonna put this back. And then I'm gonna add another marker right here. So now they know exactly where to put the 2 pieces, see? Not bad, huh? And I'll send them a private message letting them know. So that way they know where to put them. Okay. Yeah, that's about it. And then I'll wrap these up. These I'll send in a tube. And that way I don't got to roll it up so tight too and get bubbling in there. So that's it. That's it for that one. I'll put it in a 3-inch tube like that last one I did, the Outlaw one, and ship it off. Yeah, I'm not really a big fan. I used to buy these 2-inch tubes and I cut them down to whatever size I needed. They're not bad if the decal itself is only 12 inches or so, but these long ones, or the big 18-inch to 24-inch, I do not like to put in the 2-inch tubes. But yeah, there's that one.